45 laps to go here in the AMP Energy 500 at the world's fastest stock car facility, Talladega SuperSpeedway. The top 8 cars did not come back on the pit road a moment ago, but everyone else did on the lead lap, came in and topped off to try to make it on fuel. Kyle Busch, David Reagan, Travis Kvapil, Tony Stewart, Jimmy Johnson, the top 5 as we get the green waved here once again. Can those guys that come in, can they make it, Andy?
Well, they think they can. That's why they came in and got gas. So it's going to be close for a lot of these guys, especially the guys that did not come in, unless they're getting great mileage. Some of those guys up front may not be able to make it even if they did come in, so that's why they didn't come.
David Reagan running in second spot. Started at the back of the pack because of an engine change on Friday. Got to the front in 17 laps. Still looking for that very first NASCAR Sprint Cup victory. Kyle Busch hoping to turn his chase fortunes around. We talked about Talladega being a turning point. He has yet to get a top 25 finish in 3 chase races. That could change here in the next 44 laps.
It could or could not, depending on what happens in this. We haven't even gotten to the wild part of this race yet.
Yeah, here's the other thing, too, guys. We haven't seen what some of these guys can really do. We know Carl Edwards has been hanging out at the back. Who are these other guys that have really not shown their hand that we're going to see come up here and be a player at the end of the race?
I think we've seen the hanging back part of it. I think even though if I were doing it, I would be a little more conservative than going right now, because you've gone this far. Why not take it a little bit further? But we can see Carl making his way towards the front. I think they're finished with that strategy.
Now teammates starting to hook up a little bit. That's 12th and 13th to 07 and 29. Boyer, remember, he's the only chase driver who has yet to lead today. Harvick behind him. Upper line, you see Kenseth starting to come, and cousin Carl now starting to push his way up there instead of hanging back so much.
Get a few other guys pushing. We heard Dale Jr. tell us a while ago that they were already starting to cut each other off.
I think this 99 car is extremely strong because he ran at the back of the pack, and he could at will run right back up to these guys. So he might have a real strong horse we haven't seen yet.
This is the car that Carl Edwards used to finish second in Daytona when it was brand new back in July.
It shows that outside line right there. He and Matt Kenseth, and they're kind of headed backwards as these other guys are going.
That might have been an experiment right there, Mike.
Well, guys, if you remember, basically they've had 1 year, all these teams, 1 year to develop their restrictor plate program with this new car because it debuted here 1 year ago. I spoke with Bob Osborne about that at the beginning of the day, asked him where they improved the most. He said, in the bodies. He said, believe it or not, when we were back here in October of last year, the bodies were just kind of flapping around in the wind. They just weren't stable. They've added a lot of bracing to the car and have made this car much more aerodynamic. And because of that, he feels like it's much more competitive than they were a year ago. Jamie?
And his teammate Matt Kenseth, I talked to his crew chief earlier today, Chip Bolin, and he said, you know, we haven't put a lot of emphasis on our super speedway cars at Roush Fenway. We concentrate on the tracks like mile and a halfs more so. He said, but we have 10 guys in our shop that are dedicated to these super speedway cars, and he had a lot of confidence in their car. The 17 Matt Kenseth been strong all day, guys.
Thank you, Jamie. It's 3 wide. There's Bobby Labonte, who has a very good car in the middle of that group. Casey Mears behind him, who started on the outside of the front row. 48 car Jimmy Johnson there and also in the fray. Dave.
And he's in that outside line. That is where he said he wants to be. Now, you might be wondering about that motor and the fact that they removed that rev limiter chip earlier today. Has it been better for him as he drops to the rear right now? It has been. He said before, I had to hold the throttle down and I couldn't keep up. On these last runs, I've been able to go half throttle sometimes and stay with the pack. This is the best it's been all day long.
Kyle Busch moving back down across the racetrack to try to stay in front of Montoya. That's the way they finished here back in April. It was Montoya who pushed Kyle Busch through the traffic. Now a little pushing and shoving with the 88 and the 42.
I like the way this 88 and 42 have been working together today. They seem to have a really good combination going.
Yeah, I heard Junior talk about that they a lot of respect for each other, and they got fast race cars. So we'll see if they can work their way by Kyle Busch.
Kyle Busch trying to hold on with a lot of eager, anxious people behind him. Shannon.
Well, Kyle Busch, 2 right sides on that last pit stop, did not come down and top off for fuel. His spotter told him that is the line that you want to be in, the 42, the 88, and the 31. But I got to ask you guys, how dangerous is Kyle Busch leading this race, possibly taking a gamble knowing that he really has nothing to lose.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Shannon. And the thing is that all of these passes that we've seen for the lead earlier today, when guys just let them kind of go by there, that's by the wayside now. It's time to protect your turf. And Kyle Busch out there, he can make that Toyota as wide as anybody here.
He won't be able to block all 3 lanes, though, and we've seen it get 3 wide when these guys get racy.
So in other words, what you're saying is no more Mr. Nice Guy.
No more Mr. Nice Guy. No, we're inside of 40 laps to go, and these guys, all the giving that they've done before, it's just going to be all take from this point forward.
RCR cars, 4th, 5th, and 6th. None of those 3 have won here at Talladega.
Just behind this group of cars is Carl Edwards coming on the outside. We talked about him trying to make that work. You can see him up on that high line with his teammate Greg Biffle.
They go down inside of Casey Mears and sort of hang him out on the high line. Travis Kvapil actually leading that Ford charge.
They got 3 strong Fords right there. David Reagan, another one in there. He's right behind Bobby Labonte.
42 car, we talked about Montoya. The last, for you Dodge fans, the last time a Dodge won at Talladega, how about August 1976? Dave Marcus, 32 years ago. How special would that be if Dodge could pull it off today? And Montoya has got one strong horse.